Welcome back to Compas F.C. I'm Fernando Ramirez. With me always is Eddie Rodriguez, J.C. Cervantes. We're back talking a little EPL, talking a little Spanish, talking a little Liga MX, and there's an update from Mexico's camp on the future of the managerial side of Mexico for 2026. So that'll be interesting to get into all of that. But again, lads, how are we? Over the weekend, we actually watched this game together. Arsenal, Man U. That's where we're going to start off today. But we went down to the pub and we were able to watch this match. Fun times. Eddie, how are you doing?
Doing well, boys. Can't wait for JC's takes today. It's gonna be hot off the press.
Ooh, JC, he's starting early. How are you doing?
Hey, you know me. Somebody's got to break the real news, not be a fan.
So we obviously start off with Arsenal beating Manchester United 3-2. Arsenal stay at the top of the EPL in the standings. Very good back and forth match. I mean, literally, it was they would one up each other, tied game at the end of the game. Obviously, a little controversy at the end was the Arsenal's player offsides. JC's actually sent us one or two screenshots where, yeah, looks like he is offsides. Obviously, the ref didn't call it. VAR didn't call it. So Arsenal end up beating Manchester United 3-2. But JC, what did you think was the biggest reason why Arsenal got the 3 points?
We were playing one man less. Rashford decided to disappear. He had one moment where he scored one goal. Dead clock. Dead clocks are right twice a day. That was one, and he just went MIA after that. It can't really win when you don't play with all 11 players. Of course, the offsides, you can try to, rest your head on that. Zinchenko on the first pass was offside, not the one they kept trying to show where it clearly, how do you say his last name? Edward Nikeda, is that right?
Nketiah.
Niketiah. He's never offside on that one, but the first pass to Zinchenko, they broke a small glimpse of it on the first replay, and then they just never showed it again. Real weak in the midfield. Honestly, you knew from, Casemiro not being there was going to be a big issue. Scott lost all game. How he managed to get a 7.2, I don't know. Maybe just because he was anonymous all game like Rashford, but I don't know, man. It just sucks to see how much different the result would have been with the Casemiro, but I like the reaction from the coach at the end of the day. The Gaffa, really spoke to the mentality of the team. And he said if they're going to win trophies, they're going to have to really progress mentally and then get into a winning mindset. So I'm curious to see what he does for the next few BPL matchups. Big result today. The dead clock strikes again. And, on to the next.
Yeah, no, definitely. Real quick before we jump over to Eddie, this is what JC is talking about when it comes to what Eric Ten Hag had to say. He basically said, "At the moment, I am annoyed. I also told the players, if you want to win trophies, titles, we have to change our mentality." So that's what JC's alluding to what Ten Hag had to say. Wasn't happy with the mentality. You could notice, Eddie, that he was frustrated for a lot of the game. You could tell he was I mean, we've seen him before. I mean, it seems like that face is his natural face, but he looked
Got that
more
resting,
yeah. Yeah,
that resting
exactly.
I mean,
face.
how can he
Yeah, yeah.
not? He has to coach Rashford.
So, Eddie, why do you think Manchester United lost this game?
They weren't on the entire game. It was a tale of two halves where the first half, Manchester United looked completely in control of the game. They hit early with Rashford. Um, Arsenal were trying to press the entire first 20 minutes, and they after that they kind of looked flat, and then that's where Manchester United bounced back and really looked like they had command of the game. I don't know what JC's talking about because Rashford is the reason why Ben White went out
One
at
time.
halftime, and they had
One
to bring
time.
Tomiyasu in.
And it was in his
Um,
pocket. He was in
what
his
I will
pocket, mate.
say, what I will say is that
Pockets.
Scott McTominay looked completely
Pockets.
lost. I'm not sure where they're getting these ratings from. And here's a surprising thing that De Gea looked a shell of himself. Didn't look confident. Wasn't grabbing
That's how he always
balls.
looks.
He's a natural shot stopper, and some of these shots you think like maybe
Natural.
he could have stopped them from going in. But Arsenal executed the game plan. They went down early, and they showed that resilience that they've been showing throughout the season, where they feel like they're the team. And we shouted out Eddie and Ketia last podcast, and here he is producing 2 goals for them. So I know Mikel Arteta came out after the game and said that he's happy that Nketiah is producing for them, and then he stepped up to the challenge. Arsenal look good, but again, I think if you're a Manchester United fan, you're left wondering whether Casemiro being in the squad would have changed the game or not.
JC, were you surprised by the performance from David De Gea?
Not at all. That's him all the time. Can't use his hands. You got a ball that you can catch easily in the box, and you don't do anything. You can't come out playing. Uh, I don't know. Ten Hag, I know, is already looking for a replacement. Signed one goalkeeper. It's only a matter of time. The guy's time has been done for a long time now. Tired of seeing these goals go past him with minimal effort, and he's not that guy. He's weak.
Uh, Eddie, I know the highest rated player for Manchester United was Lisandro Martinez, but I know he had that goal. But even without that goal, what kind of a game did you feel like he had?
Sanders had an instant impact since joining the team. He's a natural leader. He's fearless. He's not afraid to go into a tackle, as you can see from the bandage on his head. He's not afraid to get knocked around. And I think you have that confidence if you're a Varane, a Wan-Bissaka, a Luke Shaw when Lisandro lines up next to you. So again, he's been a major help to United. Seeing other defenders like Harry Maguire out of the squad, Victor Lindelof not being able to get into the squad, and Lisandro like fitting right in. So I think that's something that Varane really needed, was another player that can command the defense, because we've seen that he couldn't play with Harry Maguire, and he's had shaky moments with Victor Lindelof. So he's one of my candidates for Manchester United Player of the Year. That's for sure.
JC, how impressed were you by Arsenal and the way they kind of kept on attacking the game, controlling the ball, and the way they were able to kind of push it?
I think that really was only a thing because of how United was lined up. You saw Ericsson a lot in defense in a lot of places he's naturally not in, and that's what happens when Casemiro's not there. So that's kind of going to be a big reason why they were able to kind of control the midfield with Zaka and Party. Had a brain fart there, my bad. But between those two guys, I mean, they were always going to hold down that midfield as far as a defensive point, and they were going to just force it, and they really pushed the middle, and that's really where a lot of their power stems from. Because defensively, they still have a lot of work. Gabriel lost the marking early and almost gave a goal to Bruno. Could have been a pen, if it was another ref. Premier League likes to make up these pen calls as they go along. Every single week, you see that called the pen. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. And then Ben White defensively, I mean, not a thing. You saw Tomiyasu, I think that's how you pronounce it, come off the bench and just pocket Rashford. But it's really their midfield that just kind of gives them everything, and that outlet to Saka is really just the most impressive thing for them for sure. Just to be able to launch long balls to him nonstop, and that guy just keep attacking your opposition. You saw him be deadly with a couple of shots. One of them went in for goal. The second one hit the post. Did come off of a deflection, but with Saka in that midfield, that finally got a good partnership going for Saka. For the other Saka, it's good to see for them, and that really gives them a lot of balance.
Eddie, does Arsenal impress you? And like, are you a little bit surprised still that they are holding on to this lead in the EPL?
No, I'm not surprised at all. I think they've shown it throughout the whole season that they're capable of holding on to a lead, squeaking out victories, even when you feel like they don't deserve it. And that's the true testament to the work that Mikel Arteta has been doing these past couple of years. I think like 3 years or so. But let's not forget that Ten Hag's only been in this job for 6 months. So the team that came out to play looked like almost a ready-made team, and they're playing a team that's had almost 3 years together. So again, if you're a Man United fan, there's a lot of positives to take from the game. It's unfortunate you didn't come away from 3 points after losing and dropping points to Crystal Palace on that unfortunate draw. But if you're an Arsenal fan, I know this is the time you can get excited, and maybe you'll finally see your team lift that Premier League since 2004, I believe. So cheers to
Neither
them.
they're not in anything. They're not in Europa, huh?
No, I believe they are in Europa. Yeah.
Oh, they are
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, they're advancing.
Okay. Obviously now looking at um looking at today's performance or Wednesday's performance, Manchester United obviously beat Nottingham Forest in the Carabao Cup. I know Pep said that it doesn't matter anymore, that the Carabao Cup isn't important, but
Neither does the
obviously
Premier League, right?
for some teams it is.
For some teams, no,
Manchester United is still in all four tournament. Everything, all four things are in the Premier League. They're in the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, and in the Europa. So they're still alive in all these tournaments. But Eddie, what did you think about Manchester United's performance today against Nottingham, or Wednesday against Nottingham?
An extremely professional performance all around. There's some shaky moments for sure, but again, that boy Rashford can't seem to stop scoring. Banged in another one, a magnificent run from Man United's own half, and then we see Weghorst finally get on the score sheet. I think very well deserved. And then Bruno finishing it off. If you're a Man United fan, you're excited that maybe the 6-year trophy drought's finally going to be over this year with Ten Hag at the helm. So again, a very professional performance. Forest really didn't have a lot to offer. I know one of their goals got ruled offside. Really tight call. It's unfortunate for them. But this is only the first leg. There's still a second leg to go.
JC, how important is it for Ten Hag to get a trophy in his first year?
It's a big deal. Honestly, a lot of the coaches' success in United have been based off of how fast they can win a trophy. They gave Ole a lot of chances, and he made a couple of runs in the FA and the Carabao, but he never was able to kind of concrete anything. But it's just going to spark a lot of things and really just confirm what he's doing and what he wants to bring to the table. You can talk all he wants about mentality and stuff, but there's going to be a time to put up or shut up. And so far he is making these deep runs into these tournaments. Whatever coach you want can say that they matter, they don't matter. He likes to, fluff his trophy cabinet and brag about how many trophies he's won with these kind of tournaments, but now they don't matter, But definitely winning early. It's gonna go ahead and fuel the funds for more transfers, and it's gonna be more buy-in. You get a lot of people already saying this United team looks alive. It looks like a United of old, and it gives you flashes and makes you feel like it's a Sir Alex United team. And as soon as you win, it's just icing on the cake. More transfers, more money. It's a dream start, to win a trophy within your first year of such a big club.
How excited are both of you guys to see them being tested? I mean, obviously they're getting tested right now, but in a couple of weeks they face Barcelona in the Europa League. Eddie, how excited are you to see them maybe against other competition that they don't normally see?
We're all excited to see that matchup for sure. You're talking about two big clubs in Europe that have won Champions League, that have topped the table at their respective leagues, and two clubs that are going in part of a transition right now, where you see a Barcelona that's starting to maybe pick up some of the pieces since Pep left, and then you're seeing a Manchester United team that's looking like the Manchester United of old, or maybe playing a little better, as TD Henry suggested not too long ago, right? So again, it's exciting. It's exciting times to be a Manchester United fan. There's a lot of things to look forward to, especially in the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. More realistically, those are the type of tournaments that you might expect them to win. A Europa League, possibly. There's still a little long shots from the Premier League, but like JC mentioned, if Ten Hag's able to solidify a couple of trophies and bring back some silverware to Old Trafford, then he's going to get a lot more buy-in from the team and from the players, and it's going to make United look like a better stop for them to join and continue the progress and that Ten Hag's already making.
I gotta ask you guys both one quick question before we move on. There's been a lot made, and I've seen it a lot circulating on social media, and it's been Ronaldo was not the problem. JC, what did you? I mean, obviously, you guys are obviously looking forward to the future and everything that is coming with Ten Hag. But do you think Ronaldo could have helped JC this squad right now, especially with Martial always being hurt and they obviously got Wakehorse. But do you feel like obviously one, do you was it really like it wasn't Ronaldo that kind of sank the team, and two, do you believe he could have helped?
I mean, the guy bags goals. You know, he's a guaranteed goal machine. You're never gonna say no to anybody like that. Could he have helped the team? Yes, but it was more or less a mentality thing for him. I feel like he wasn't comfortable. He didn't like being on the bench. He didn't like coming off the bench and being a replacement. And he didn't want to play garbage minutes. You know, like a lot of times Ten Hag would, where they test from the coach, yet to be seen. I feel like they were, you know, because you want to see how bought in the guy is to winning, and you do little things like sub him in the last 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 15 minutes. You give him garbage time to see if he's really for the club or for a personal gain. And he's always going to bag you goals. I feel like he could have helped the team, yes, to be subbed on late in the Arsenal matchup. Would have been a dream sub to have. We definitely were running out of options. You know, it would have been nice to have a Sancho come off the bench or a Garnacho or anything like that. And a Christie to come off the bench is nuts. But I just feel like his mentality and him not wanting to be a player coming off the bench is going to limit the options a lot. And the falling out of the coach, you know, definitely came from that.
Yeah. There's only two coaches that I've seen Cristiano be very I mean they could tell him anything and he'd do
Don't do it.
anything. And
Don't
that's
do it.
Carlo Ancelotti
Don't
and
do it.
Zinedine Zidane. So pretty interesting. But Eddie, same question to you. Both of those questions about
I would say Sir Alex could be able to tell Ronaldo
oh
whatever.
no, obvious, yeah, obvious.
You
That
know,
That's
one,
the only
that
let's
one.
one.
not go there, right?
No. That one. Hey, I said coaches. That guy is a father figure
But
for Cristiano, so that's why I
yeah,
didn't mention Alex, because Sir Alex is obviously a father figure to him. I mean, you saw Sir Alex was. I think he wasn't feeling well for the 2018 Champions League final, and he did everything he could. He pounded water. He did everything he could to fly and be in Istanbul to be there for Ronaldo and Real Madrid against Liverpool. So I mean, that's his father figure. That's who raised him, basically. So remember, hey, Mohamed Salah, he's out for revenge. This is the fifth
Yeah.
game. This is the fifth game since
yeah.
that game, but he's still out for revenge.
Bam!
He got lost looking for revenge. That's what happened. But no. So would a Cristiano help you? Yes. Was he the right man to help United at this time? He was no longer was the right player to help this United team. Ten Hag's making it really clear that no player is bigger than the club, and that's something that Sir Alex would do. And we've seen it in the past with Man United captains like Keno and Robson. They didn't exit the club all great, very gracefully. There's a lot of controversy surrounding those exits, just like Cristiano's. And I think Cristiano is having a hard time, maybe accepting that he's going to play a lesser role, but he could still be that guy that bag you the goals. And right now, the way the team's playing, they weren't playing like this when Cristiano was there.
Yeah.
And what's the big question? Why was it Cristiano's fault that the team wasn't gelling, or was it something else that was lingering over the club and causing all the players not to perform? It's unfortunate that that's what happened and that's how it ended. But again, Cristiano leaving left them with a big void to fill. Who's going to bag in the goals at striker? And like you mentioned, our Martial not looking like it, even though Ten Hag has come out in the media and try to say that they play the best ball when he's available and he's fit and healthy. Weghorst,
You gotta say that.
he's maybe like a big band-aid. So United is still definitely in the market for a striker. Will they get a striker come January? I guess the end of January. I guess we'll talk about it soon.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Well, this next question is for JC. JC, did Marcus
JC.
Rashford's recent run impress you? And what is it? 10-10? 10 goals in the last
10, my boy.
No, not at all. He's past due for sure.
Yeah,
I mean,
this
he's a dead clock. He does it once a game. He's not consistent enough. He was a one-half player versus Arsenal. He gets a goal, gets out. A real striker gets you another one and another one and another one. I don't think he's ambitious enough to really, seal the deal at the end of the day. He gets one, and then that's it. He's content. He's satisfied with that. He's definitely past due, if you ask me. He's been anonymous for a couple of years, dealing with all this MBE stuff, all the off the pitch things. All credit to him for that. Feed the kids. No kid goes starving. a proper thing to do. But when your mindset is more focused on off the field duties than on the field duties, and you're coming up short and you know it, you're really just being a bad teammate at that point, and you're neglecting your teammates at that point. So this is all just pass through stuff. He's scoring on, teams. The first 7 goals were versus who? Bottom feeders. He scored 1 on Man City. Anonymous, he scored 1 on Arsenal. Okay, who cares, right? And then Nottingham Forest, here we go again. Bottom feeders again. Like, here we go. It's all just, pass through hype. And he's living off of academy, folklore that every time United we defend our own. Same with Scott McTominay. He wouldn't start at any other club, I would feel like, definitely. They wouldn't have given him so many chances.
Eddie, would you like to respond?
That's ridiculous that he wouldn't start.
With the previous form he was running?
Are you
only
kidding
right
me,
now.
guy? Well, that's what I'm
right
saying. Like, this is exactly
Only
what
right
I'm
now.
saying. Yeah, he found his form again.
Oh,
you know?
God.
And when they say again, he was banging in. I think he had like 22 goals and like 12 assists.
In 5
last
competitions.
Year when Ollie was
5
there.
competitions.
I think
it
it's
took him 5 tournaments to bag 20 goals.
You're discounting his goals. Where one, the goal against Wolves was a winner. The goal against Man City, a winner. Like, he's banging in his goals and having an impact. It's like he's scoring a goal.
The Man City game.
It's not like he's scoring a goal and then like he's suggesting that he's running away into a corner and not doing anything. That's not the case.
Where was he the rest of the Arsenal game?
It's ridiculous. He was there. We were there watching it live.
Where?
Oh my God!
In the pockets. Pockets.
Whose pocket?
Tomiyasu's.
That's not a thing. No.
And where was he?
That wasn't a thing, my guy.
How many goals did he score? How many chances? How many crosses?
JC likes to make these little flashy points and almost give you like an ESPN FC take.
Okay.
Shout out ESPN FC, I guess. But come on,
fanboy.
Let's be realistic here.
Don't be a fanboy.
10 out of 10.
Versus who?
Form since the World Cup.
Versus who?
He's one of the main reasons Manchester United are even in contention in these competitions, let alone a long shot in the Premier League. Take Rashford's goals away, where would United be? Like, let's not get it twisted. No, come on.
All right.
He's not a striker. He's a winger.
Okay.
Winger stop calling him a striker. Goals. Come on, man. Come on.
He's by himself. Come on. How do you want him not to do anything?
You're mad. You're mad.
I'm gonna call it right now. He bags 4 against Barcelona in those 2 games.
Don't wish on the star. Don't. He's gonna go. He's gonna go hide in Kunde's pockets the same way he did for Tomiyasu.
Kunde? Now you're rating Kunde? Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm rating your boy.
I got nothing else to say, bro. I'm
rating your boy.
Hey, Kunde can't hang with Vinicius.
He said he's a Kunde fan.
He's gonna go hide in Kunde's
what
pockets
are you talking
the same
about?
way he did for Tomiyasu.
Jeez.
That's all I said. Nobody's rating anybody. That's what it's gonna be.
That fool sees Vinicius in his dreams. All right, let's move over. 2 teams that obviously are not doing too hot right now. Liverpool and Chelsea, they tie 0-0. Both barely stay atop the top 10. Eddie, what are your thoughts on this? What were your thoughts on this matchup?
Extremely boring. That's what I thought. It looked like Chelsea had the majority of the clear chances. Havertz can't get a goal for the life of him, but that's a player J.C. rates extremely high.
You don't like Havertz?
But you know what? What I will say is I like seeing
Havertz?
Gakpo in there. Gakpo had 1 or 2 chances. He looked pretty lively. Klopp is
you like Gakpo?
I don't know what Klopp is thinking. I think he's losing his mind that he goes from like the pinnacle of European football to battling for top 10. So, it's more understandable that Chelsea's going through this transition because they got a new manager. They've had some injuries, but again, what a boring matchup. These are the type of matchups you used to crave to watch as a neutral fan, but this one, definite snoozer.
JC, what did you think?
Yeah, same thing. Both teams just went out here not to lose, and if they ended up to stumble across a goal, they were going to celebrate it. I mean, Chelsea's been having a striker problem forever. That 9th position is cursed for them. I don't know. I think I saw a slide the other day about like 8 different strikers that came in and played the striker position, and nobody can bag a goal from them. The only guy that was able to do it was Drogba, the last one, and that's really the main thing that's missing. Potter, is he finding his way? Who knows? I don't know. He's got like a million transfers to go through and to kind of plug in here to make something happen. But when Liverpool and Jurgen play the type of football they play, players are going to get tired, they're going to get hurt, and they're not going to come back and play the same. And it keeps being the same thing for them. That midfield is just completely shot. You're getting no production out of there. You're really wishing on a star with Stefan Bajcetic, if that's how
The
you say it.
rookie.
Yeah, no, you're just wishing on a star for these guys to come in and do something for you. Keita, you got James Milner playing right back. Like you're just really out here setting up to play, 6, 8 in the back, and then launch a long ball up there and see what happens. But both of the teams came out to not lose, and like you said, you used to crave these. Now you just hope to see one goal.
Yeah, with Liverpool, they have Brighton in the FA Cup this weekend. Then they play Wolves, Everton, Newcastle, and right after Newcastle, they have Real Madrid in Champions League. Then they come back against
Oh,
Castle,
Dios.
Man United,
No.
Bournemouth, and then again against Real Madrid in the second leg of the champions. And I think I saw somewhere that Jurgen Klopp says he doesn't believe that Virgil van Dijk will make it back
Of course not.
for either of those legs. So it might be, or for the first leg, definitely not. For the second leg, they're going to try, but I think that's going to be difficult. So I don't know how long. Do you think? I mean, if they make it outside of the top 6, does Klopp keep his job, Eddie? And say they get bounced out by Real Madrid, they get embarrassed by Real Madrid, they get bounced out, they don't win it, they don't hold up any trophies. Do you think Klopp could be because this is the 7th year, right? This is usually the year where it all falls apart for him.
Where it all falls apart, right? No, he's already mentioned and has said it publicly that he's not going to go anywhere unless the club forces him to. And I don't think the Liverpool ownership is keen on getting rid of Klopp right now. Because if they do, realistically, who are you going to get, and who are you going to try to recruit to take over? They went through so much before Klopp got there, right? And he's brought success to Liverpool. Let's not forget that. They went years without success in the Premier League, years without success in Europe, and Klopp brought all that. So, he still has some pedigree and standing with the club. Again, this squad he put out looks like one of my Sunday league teams. Like we have James Milner. You have the oldest player playing right back.
Can you respect Mohamed Salah, please? He's one of the top 3 players.
Where is he? Where is he? Yeah, okay. Again,
I've never, and you know what's funny?
Liverpool,
I've never bought the Mohamed Salah hype. Like, even when he was bagging all these goals in 18, 19, 20, like, I still didn't believe in it. I don't know what it is about him, but I just don't think he's as good as advertised. JC, am I wrong? Or like, I don't know.
He's
I don't
had
know.
flashes. I think if you ask Barcelona about Salah, they'll have a different opinion.
Oh, yeah.
When he was out at Roma. But, I mean, no, he's had flashes. He deserves his flowers. Is he on that super elite level where he should be mentioned in the Balón de Oro, candidacy? No, I would definitely say that he's not like up to that level for sure. But is he a very good player? Heck yeah. Like you could definitely put a Salah on any team and he's going to start, at the top flight level, and he offers a lot. But when you put these kind of players around him, you really almost are hoping for him to just bail you out absolutely every single time. And it's just a lot that he has to deal with that he's really not used to. So he's looking at different type of player, and he's not necessarily playing to his strengths. And obviously, Sadio not being there on the other side is a big,
right on the money right there.
Right there, that's the number one problem, because now they get to overload his side. You can go a defensive mid and a right back, just there locking him down all game, and he's not going to show up. And when you got a Gakpo that's just adjusting to the Premier League, when you've got Darwin, adjusting to the Premier League, you're starting rookies like Elliott on the left wing. You're not really giving the guy too many opportunities to succeed and to do what he does best, But when Sadio was there, it was a whole nother story. I don't know. Where's Firmino? That's my number one question. Is he injured? Are we not playing him just because? Is he not too fast anymore? Because he's offering you something that could really give Salah a lot. And that's just him holding up the play a simple 1-2 ball. You don't need a lot to get that guy going. You get Salah, half a chance. It's one turn and a shot like a Robin used to. And, before you got a rebound goal or something, and it just changes the game for you. But it's just a lot of things wrong, and that's why he doesn't look like he's just a shadow of what he used to be at the moment.
Well, yeah, completely agree. Obviously, Everton sack Lampard.
Watch out
Eddie,
now.
you guys, I don't remember which one called it last week that Lampard would be first
That
over.
was in the works for a long time now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was all of us.
Yeah, we were
Eddie,
all waiting for
what
that.
do you make of this?
Not surprised. What has Lampard really done in his managerial career to, garner any respect? Yeah, okay, he came to Derby and he got him into the playoffs or whatever. But then what did he do after that? He went to Chelsea and he quote unquote, found Mason Mount, and that's where you saw these memes about, Frank Lampard always playing Mason Mount. And he was developing the youth, and he did an okay job. I'm not gonna say he did a terrible job. He didn't do a superb job. And then he gets the Everton job, a club that's been a abysmal to say the least since Ancelotti left. Ancelotti had them looking real nice, right? A real captain of the ship
Thomas
there.
had been reborn.
Exactly. So, and then Frank comes in, takes the job, and scraped relegation last season, and I think now they lost the last 12 games or something like that, or they haven't won the last 12 games. So no surprise there. I think we even called it on the podcast that it's more likely that Frank Lampard gets sacked than David Moyes, and that's exactly what happened.
JC, what do you think, or what do you make
There's
of this?
there's bigger problems afloat than Frank Lampard. I feel like just him being appointed at the beginning was just a band-aid to try to keep people in the seats. I don't really believe the board knows what they're doing. I think Jamie Carragher the other day said it not as a pundit, but as an Everton fan, that the board has to go and there needs to be things shooken up top. And he's really pushing that issue and that
He pulled a
narrative.
Gary Neville. He pulled a Gary Neville.
He did, huh? He did, huh? He's like, let me help my childhood club,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah,
But no, I mean,
yeah.
all
Give up the
credit to him. He's
toffees.
using his platform, to go and spark that because you see that sign every single game. It's always those same fans, with the sign saying, hey, we need to sell this club. Let me get new ownership. And, they're not the only ones looking for new ownership. Fingers crossed here. But definitely, I think Everton has bigger problems. Lampard, he's living for free off of his playing career. He's got to be real careful where he goes next because if it could go south and he could just be disregarded altogether by a lot of people. Not to shy the guy's career, great career, a super player all around. But
Premier League legend.
hey, through and through, he's in the Hall of Fame in my book, and for sure, I think he needs to be careful where he goes next. But Everton has bigger problems. This isn't a Lampard thing. This is a big Everton issue, and it sucks to see Lampard just be stuck in the middle of it because you wish the guy was better,
damage.
but he didn't do himself any favors by taking that job.
Yeah, speaking of troubles that they're getting
Snubbed.
into, they got snubbed by Danjuma. They snubbed him and he joined Spurs. Eddie, what do you make of this?
The guy goes and does media for them, says that he's going to try to do everything he can to try to keep them in the league. And then 24 hours later, he's signing for Spurs. This is ridiculous. This is
the other side of London.
This reminds me of that Dan James hijack when he was at Leeds,
yeah.
and then Man United just came in and swooped. And swooped Dan James under the rug from Leeds or whatever. It's extremely hilarious that this happens. If you're an Everton fan, you just found another player to hate. So yeah, I think it's extremely funny.
JC, what did you think?
Can you blame the guy? I mean, look at how Everton is. Do you really want to go play over there? You suck to see it from a neutral standpoint, right? You get a little hype, you get a little something if you're an Everton fan, like, hey, we're getting a winger. How much do you know Danjuma? Not many people probably watch Villarreal games, but you saw him a little bit, I guess, in the World Cup, one time maybe he came off, and then, but yeah, no, I mean, he chose the other side of London, man, and although Everton's not even that, my bad, but he went to Spurs. I guess he's going to be Son's replacement. He's going to flex in there and play a little left wing.
The Scousers aren't doing that good, so he chose going to London instead.
And he said he'd rather go play for the Spurs and collect the check, huh? But definitely, it's tough. How much better is Spurs and Everton? at the
Mhm.
moment. They're not looking too hot, but I guess if you had to choose between the two, why not, right? Let's go Spurs.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Eddie, I want you to look in your crystal ball. Any big transfers happen before the deadline in the EPL?
Maybe player wise, no. Managerial wise, I think there's a lot of noise going around that Marcelo Bielsa might be taking over Everton. So
I
that's,
hope not.
I don't know how people feel about that. Um, he did a phenomenal job for Leeds. Is he able to replicate that same success with Everton? Because if you're an Everton fan, realistically, what you're hoping for right now is that your club avoids relegation, that you find new ownership, and you get the stadium that's being built financed. Those are your three main objectives. I don't think you're worried about fighting for no Premier League anytime soon. So it's an interesting thing. Um, any other transfers that are relevant? I mean, outside of the Premier League and outside of Europe, your boy Diego Lainez is going to join Tigres. I guess
Oh, he's leaving Europe already?
he's leaving Europe already. I think he's been out of Europe since he got there. Wasn't really getting enough playing time. So yeah, I mean, I think biggest transfer news might just be which managers join which clubs.
JC?
Yeah, same. I mean, there's a lot of clubs that could use some help out there, but how many are willing to spend the cash? Not too many. You'll probably just see some small, transfers come in here and there. Or maybe who knows? You might see another 5 transfers from Chelsea. So they've been willing and dealing left and right. Get that owner out of those Twitter chats or wherever he is, and almost turn his
Todd
computer off
Bowley,
a
if you're
little bit.
listening, get off of the Twitter chat.
Hey man, go take a break. You've done enough. And stop signing players just to sign them. But yeah, Lainez out. Yeah, well, no surprise there. He should have been gone. Should have gone to Netherlands when he had the chance. But they went for money. But nah, man, I think that's about it. I'd love to see a center back come into United, but not nobody really available there. Just gonna ride out what you got there. A lot of teams already kind of set. But oh no, there was one. I think I saw Arsenal picking up. I think another player, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember who it was, but I think they were going to try to sign another midfielder or something like that. But yeah, they right, that guy's going to try to pump the machine like, hey, we got to win this. This is the time. So, I mean, great for them if they sign another midfielder, another defender. That's definitely you need it. Saka is a red card waiting to happen, and if that guy's out, who's gonna sub in. So, but if anybody Arsenal, that's going to be my guess there or my prediction. Let me ask my 8 ball. I'm thinking it's
Exactly.
popping up and then saying Arsenal is going to do something.
Let's move over now to La Liga. Barcelona and Real Madrid both win their games over the weekend. Barcelona stayed 3 points ahead. Barcelona beat Gafete 1-0. Real Madrid beat Athletic Bilbao 2-0. JC, what do you make of the La Liga race?
Oh, first of all, we got to thank Pep. He coached Xavi, and he's the reason why they're in first place. All credit to not God, but to Pep. But
Same thing
definitely,
for those Barcelona boys.
yeah. He's in charge of like everything apparently. But no, I mean Real Madrid, the competitions, the injuries, the rotations, all that stuff there. Barcelona play Getafe. There's not too much talent going on over there, man. It's a game they had to win. The real thing to see is going to be how good they go into the Copa del Rey. Barcelona and Madrid are going to keep going back and forth, but I don't think Barcelona has the staying power because they're one injury away from Dembele getting hurt. We alluded to it already. If that guy goes down, he's the only thing they got up there. Watch out. Frankie de Jong is leaving. They're going to start plummeting again. It's a ticking time bomb, and you want to see him do all right just for the competition to stay up there because Atletico's kind of starting to fade away.
Yeah.
And then with the whole Cholo thing, the mentality's not there anymore. But they're going to carry on, keep fighting. But Barca's just like 1 or 2 injuries away from really just kind of flunking out of this race.
Eddie, do you feel like right now Real Madrid is starting to kind of maybe they want to catch their form before they have to play Liverpool in a couple of weeks? Like that's their tournament.
That's but that's
Championship.
just the history of Madrid, right? It's almost like they're a second half team where you know midway through a break they catch some injuries and they start falling off, and and the
People
well-oiled
write them off.
machine seems like it's leaking, and then people write them off, and then ESPN FC's drooling over the Barcelona, being whatever they want to say. But like JC alluded to, yeah, they're 1 or 2 injuries away from not being in any competition. And I think Madrid, well, it wasn't a vintage performance against Bilbao, but Benzema scored a beautiful goal on the half turn and the half volley. And then Kroos, I
Karim,
don't know how he bended that goal into that corner, man, but that was
how?
crazy.
How?
You're right. I don't want to disrespect him. What a goal. But again, I think Madrid are picking up steam, right? They're picking up steam, and the Champions League is their tournament, So I don't think they're going to be too worried about facing Liverpool at this point in time. It's going to be a much easier game than people think it's going to be, especially considering Liverpool's injuries and lack of, I guess, cohesion between their team. Seeing that they're trying to plug in a lot of new players. I'll tell you what, if they try to start James Milner at right back,
Long day.
that's goodbye Liverpool. You guys should be
Vinny's gonna
hoping
have
for the
a.
Conference League at best, seeing you barely, scraping by in the top 10.
Well, you saw
So
even
yeah.
Alexander Arnold has troubles against Vinny.
Oh man.
Alexander Arnold's been on the bench lately, so I don't know what's going
Yeah.
on there, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're
And
Madrid, you're
Klopp
picking up
defended him with
steam,
a closed
and
fist.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if you can put this video up, or maybe we'll send it to you later. But there's a video where Liverpool gets scored on, and then Alexander Arnold is just like talking smack, and then Klopp looks at him like, you got something to say,
To the bench you go.
Yeah. Again, if you're Madrid, you're picking up steam. We hinted at this like last podcast, and if you're Barcelona, you're wishing on a star.
What so obviously like you guys said, Copa del Rey is on. Barcelona won, they've advanced. I think Osasuna won. They upset Sevilla, so that was a pretty interesting
That's
matchup.
crazy.
Thursday though, there are 2 matches. Quickly, could you guys give me your predictions? Eddie, I'll go first with you. Valencia and Athletic Club.
Wow.
Athletic Bilbao.
Yeah, Athletic Bilbao. Just based on what I saw this past weekend when they played Madrid, I didn't think they looked out of place. They did have a couple chances. Forget the boy's first name, but Williams, not Iñaki Williams, the other Williams looked pretty lively, man. He
Yeah.
looked pretty lively. So again, I'm gonna say Bilbao.
Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid.
Real Madrid. I think Atletico Madrid are still going through a rough patch with Cholo Simeone, and I don't know when they're going to get out of that funk.
J.C. Valencia or Athletic Bilbao?
Bilbao.
Madrid,
they're
Real
fighters.
Madrid or Atletico?
Ooh, I'm just playing. That's Madrid, bro. That's Real. Madrid is white, bro. Madrid is white.
Now let's move on real quick. Obviously, we all acknowledge how good Kylian Mbappe is. I think it was on Tuesday, he scored 5 goals against País de Castel. I don't know. They're like a second division team. They were playing in their cup or whatever, but he scored 5 goals. Yeah, I don't know who that is. I thought it said País de Castillo. I don't know what the heck that is. But JC, how impressive is it that he hit 5 goals? No, nothing.
It's his second division. It's what you expect from a player like Mbappe to just kind of lick his chops and be there the same way. I don't know. I wasn't too crazy about how they try to compare that to Haaland scoring 3 on Wolves. I think Wolves has a little more pedigree than Paz de Castelo. But definitely, I mean, that's what Mbappe does. Bottom feeder teams, he's just there to just, bag as many goals as he can, on to the next, execute, perform. Probably a little locker room shade being thrown there. I scored 5. How many do you score? You know how these guys are. They're the most competitive in the world. They all want to be number 1, but I don't rate this too crazy, man. It's just 5 goals on some bottom feeders. Yeah,
So
whatever.
there's a guy who hasn't scored any goals since he's come back, but I mean, I guess we're not talking about that. Eddie,
no, we can't.
No, what were you gonna say?
No, we can't talk about that. That's why I didn't bring it up.
Eddie,
War silence.
Is this
Yeah, that guy's on holiday, I guess, huh?
Still, mate.
Reports are saying.
Had a nice Tuesday, yeah.
Oh,
I think I rate Al Nassr, better than this team. So really, Mbappe scoring 5 goals against them. Yeah.
Hey, no. He scored on Al Nassr.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
he did.
scoring 5 goals against these guys.
He
Come on,
scored on
now. Like that's
Ronaldo scored
breaking
twice
news.
against PSG, though.
Oh, no.
No, don't talk about him.
It didn't happen.
That's what pisses me off.
Ramos let him through.
Nah, yeah, right. He should. Man, I'm so. He should be. He should be on a team right now. He should be on it. He should be somewhere else. But I mean, I guess he's making that money.
He did it to himself. You can't grip the mirror.
He should have never had that interview with Piers Morgan, and he would have still been in Europe playing.
He did it to himself. He just had to grip the mirror.
By the way, Georgina, season 2 has been. They have renewed her reality show.
Stop.
I'm serious. It comes out in March.
Stop giving a free promo.
You plug it in that show?
I'll watch. Yeah. Hey, it's interesting to watch Cristiano in like a normal, like watching him outside, outside of his habitat or whatever. It's interesting to watch him.
Yeah, I bet Ryan Seacrest is dying to bring that in.
Ryan Seacrest.
Oh man, the millions and millions.
I'm just saying, it's interesting to watch how Ronaldo is and how he is with his family and the kid. You know what though? They actually don't show him all that much with the kid. The only one that they show him with is Khaleesi Jr. But other than that, I mean, they don't really get much of him. It's basically almost about her. Bro. It's basically her and the kids. So,
well, it's her show.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you think they would?
It's her show.
You know, there was a funny, real quick. There's a funny bit on the show where they were dating, and when they started dating, she's like, it was so funny because I would show up to work on a bus, like I'd come on the bus, and at night a Bugatti would be picking me up, or a Rolls Royce, or a Ferrari. Ronaldo's like, she used to come out and tell me, why are you picking me up in those fancy cars? I'm sorry, this is all I own. I don't own a station wagon. I don't own anything else. Like, and then he's like, I'm not just going to buy a taxi and drive it over and be like, hey, I don't want you to be embarrassed. So stuff like that makes me laugh. Like when they start talking about each other and how they started dating, I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, you guys should check it out. I think it's interesting the show to watch. I'm telling you,
that's cool. She was riding the bus and now Bugattis. That's tough.
Yeah, and now she's gifting Rolls Royces on Christmas.
Hey, and it's funny. But she's all about the squad. She's all about the squad too. She's like, hey, if I fly private, the squad's gonna come in. She takes her friends, and Ronaldo lets her go to Paris and shop for the day or try on.
Like that, Oh wow! He swipes it for everybody.
Nice case there for me to watch this show.
Huh?
Interesting.
You're making a real nice case for me to watch this show.
Yeah, I think I'll watch it after my Super Liga.
It's interesting that he has his own private. He has his own private jet, his own pilots, his own anything. They're on standby for whenever he wants to travel. Like,
I
bet you, Ronaldo, let me get a loan. Like
big loan. Come on.
Hey, this is
by the neighborhood.
Compas FC is a good investment, Ronaldo. You should invest in Compas FC. We'll bring it up. We'll put it on the map.
Or Georgina, I don't know. She's gifting Rolls Royce.
Hey, you ain't kidding on that. Okay, let's move on.
TikTok, make it happen.
Let's move on. Obviously, there's a coaching update from Mexico.
Your boy.
Let me bring that up. No,
your boy. Yeah,
so according to Fidelson, Marcelo Vizal had agreed to coach Mexico, the national team. He had agreed to, but now they don't. But the committee informed him that they decided against it, and now it's between Guillermo Almada or Miguel Herrera.
You know what it is.
You know what's going to happen, right?
It's Herrera.
You already know.
I
know. Look at you assuming in. You're high. You are high.
No. I didn't think this would be a bad hire. I thought that it'd be a good hire.
Who, Bielsa?
Yeah.
What? He has more pedigree than Herrera, I'll tell you that.
That's why I'm saying. Like, I thought you didn't think so?
No, man. No.
So out of those three names, which one do you want?
He's Pep's godfather, and apparently, Pep was inspired by him. So I don't know. Like, this is
who sent the link? Bielsa. Who sent the link of Hercules Gomez? Just not Hercules Gomez. Alexi Lalas. My bad. I saw this guy's name and just.
Oh, I think that was me.
But No, Alexis, you sent the video, bro. You heard it. He asked him why. He put him on the spot, and he's done romantic football, blah blah. Bro, stop. Come on. His biggest achievement month to date is bringing Leeds up to the first division, which was can't be knocked down.
My
But as soon as he
God,
got
he
to the
brought a team that wasn't in the Premier League for like 17 years.
let me talk. Let me
Let
talk.
me talk.
Which isn't anything to knock. It's a big deal. It's a historic club. But when he got to the Premiership and he got Premiership funds and Premiership transfers, what did he do, bro? He fell off. The romantic style fell apart, and the whole club just got dismantled. And now he got replaced by Team USA's next head coach, possibly. So, there you go. He got replaced by that guy, and he's kind of playing well. So, I mean, Guillermo Almada, high five, bro. You're just the next Almeida in this race. Televisa through and through. Miguel Herrera is going to be your next coach. They're not even considering Jimmy Lozano. Freaking, that's news to me. Like, how does a guy go through a whole Olympic process and not even come down to the final two? That is ridiculous. I get that he's coaching a team right now in the league, but bro, all that stops. And then the fact that Tuca Ferretti is a free agent right now and you haven't reached out to him, and you pay this guy that used to coach Barcelona, and that's the only thing on his resume. Oh, my bad, an MLS Cup with Atlanta. That's the only thing on his resume, and you paid him more than any other coach in the world. But you don't reach out to Tuca Ferretti is just ridiculous. Like, Lord forbid you win.
I remember
they just want to continue the fiasco. That's all it is.
Piojo, méteme.
With
like
Duke, I
what's he
remember
gonna call Chicharo and Layun and all these guys again? Like, come on, it's the same story again, and they're just setting themselves up for another catastrophic. Oh, he'll find him. He'll go find him.
Oh, he's just like Ache dreaming about 2026.
Oh, you saw that? That Ache said he feels like he will be
all
part of the squad.
Yeah.
And
guess who's good? And they're all
and guess who'll take him? And guess who'll take him?
Exactly. Thank you.
I wonder
they just
when San Diego gets his team, I've heard that they would reach out to Andres Guardado and like some of these Mexican superstars to be a part of their.
I would never. I will protest.
Eddie, does it surprise you that Tuca's has like J.C. that he hasn't been hit up?
It doesn't surprise me because John De Luisa is a complete.
He's a clown.
He's losing a screw in his head or something, because what does he have to show the last 4 years for the Mexican Federation to continue to trust in him to make the right sporting decisions? Nothing but failure. And I don't understand where the Mexican Federation is at this point in time. Like J.C. mentioned, you got someone like Jimmy that went through the whole process of sub-20 and 22 and the Olympics and all these things, and he's doing the right things and getting proper results, and he's not even into consideration, is blasphemous. And then, again, Tuca Ferretti, who's been in Liga MX since the 80s, who knows Liga MX, who's been a proven winner in Liga MX, and he doesn't get the call?
He's too mean, bro.
You don't try to go convince him to coach your team? Like, what's going on? And don't get me wrong, like, Almeida, you could throw his name in there for sure. He's a winner. He's a winner in the league. Great. I'm for that. Piojo though, like Piojo to me, it's not even a Band-Aid, bro. It's just like a little ball of cotton with tape. Like, what are you doing trying to get him to fix all your problems if he's gonna be one of the reasons you don't advance again in any tournament? He's gonna bring these old players who have nothing else to give to El3. He's not gonna give the young players any chance. Tell me when and where in America did he give young players a chance? Linus wasn't his player. That was La Volpe. So where does Piojo fit in 2026?
Edson, and
that was La Volpe too.
Yeah, he just wins with other teams, with other coaches' teams. But the bigger problem is,
which is
well, that's why Tuca left. They were on the way out. But the bigger problem is the federation, and they are out of every single major tournament at a sub level.
All these Televisa executives
need to
step aside and allow people who are actually in the sport to start making sporting decisions.
Can I show you what some fans want?
Oh, let's see.
Okay.
Let me see.
Berhalter.
Casey, this is for you.
What do the fans want? Let's see. Come on.
Rafa Marquez should be Mexico's next manager. That may seem
Bro,
ridiculous
turn it off.
considering the lack of experience he
Turn
has
it
as a
off.
manager, but look at what Lionel
This
Scaloni
is-
accomplished with Argentina, having never coached at the club level or international senior level. Scaloni's achievement showed us that passion and being able to build a genuine camaraderie within a team is just as important as experience and tactics. He was somebody the Argentine team wanted to rally around. Rafa Marquez can be that guy for El Tri. He's young, he's a legend of the game, and most importantly, he shares the same burning desire as the players to see Mexico succeed. It will be easy for the players to respect him, as many of them probably idolized him growing up. Having Rafa Marquez in charge while Mexico is starting a generational change seems like a match made in heaven, building from ground zero and starting a new era of Mexico together. Is Rafa Marquez the right guy for El Tri?
No, he's not. What? How do these TikTok videos go viral? I just,
First of all, go back to the video. Go back to the
don't
video.
go back to the video.
I just want, don't play it. Just go back to it. Just go to the post. Don't press it. It was already wasted enough freaking brain cells hearing that bozo.
To our viewers.
Yeah. How many? I want to see this. How many likes does it? 13,000 likes. 13,828 people are absolutely mental, bro. The man isn't even wanted at Atlas. Like he's.
He ain't even wanted in the United. He's wanted in the United States though.
They don't even want him at
Yeah,
Atlas.
he's wanted for sure.
Go to Cabra Football's profile. I want to see, who does he support. Let's see here. What are you about, here, guy? Here. Let's do a deep dive. You're home for football. Hold on. Oh, Edson post. Yeah, God. No, go to his pro bio. Don't go to the lines. Let's just look at his bio real quick. He's got a Spotify, new episodes, Football Asada. Okay, no free promo. Cabra Football.
You're giving them pre promo, but
I don't know. This is exposure.
Look,
come through Cabra Football.
Let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you who started this trend.
Hop off.
I swear. You know who really started this trend was Madrid
Efecto
plugging in Sisu. That's what started the trend. Oh, let's get an ex-player and one that's been successful. Let's just plug him in and
we just went from bad to worse. Now Zidane's in. Oh my God.
No,
Next.
Madrid really did.
They almost pioneeered that idea.
Next.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna make you throw up with this. Guess what? ESPN FC is trying to do.
Let's see. More Messi post.
Arsenal have built their own MSN.
Oh yeah.
Mandem. Oh, how disrespectful.
Mandem.
That is disrespectful to Neymar and Suarez. I swear. Suarez has done more in like 2 seasons at Liverpool than those 3 guys have done in their life. In their life, man.
This is my life.
Oh wait. Look, read the first comment. Read the first comment.
ESPN, step up your game.
Read the first comment.
Saka. No, Bobby is smoked. Just on to the next, please. No, he's not more clinical. Martinelli will never be up to Neymar's toenails.
Oh, what? He's saying Martinelli is better. What?
Like La Remontada wasn't because of Neymar and Suarez. Like, give me a break, man. On the ESPN, step up your game. They have not built anything, man. That is still Jesse Lingard's dance floor.
Ryan Reynolds' squad is at the top of their league.
Oh, watch out now.
They're close to getting promoted to EFL League 2. That'd be the 4th tier of English football. What do you think? Road to the Premier League. What do you guys think?
Hey, let's go.
Whatever.
No, I'm all for it, bro. Let's bring them up. Another team that could pipeline some English talent, some American talent into English football. Let's do it, man. You need all the pipelines you can get coming into 2026, and it looked like a passion project, hobby. There was a lot of players or people kind of doubting how much
controversy because of the TV show.
And they were all just doubting how bought in they were into it, and they're spending the money, they're winning the team, and results drive everything.
Our teams, our players, doing the rash. They're all doing the Rashford. Look at that. Is he starting a trend? Is going to be as popular as a
mental, bruv. I don't know what's going on.
I'm not going to play a guessing game.
I don't know where the celebration comes from or what it represents or whatever. But who did start it? Rashford. And you can
There
see
you go,
other players
Drew. Oh,
following
you got
suit.
something
So
right here. You got something
you
right
know,
here. You can go and dry that
yeah,
off.
you know,
Go and
you
get
know.
that off your chin right there.
All
Oh,
right, all right.
you guys,
Kid
both
show,
know
kid show,
You
kid show.
guys know
Wipe that off.
Cafu, right?
Wipe that off. You got a little drool right here, mate.
Kid show,
A
kid
little
show.
drool. You got
You guys
drool.
know. You guys know Cafu.
Of course.
Okay, well,
Legend. Well,
guess
I
what?
hope you're not gonna flip this on me because the
Well,
Cafu I know.
I'm about to
Have some
floor you.
respect.
They
Have some
asked him,
respect.
"Would you take Henderson or Modric?" He said Henderson. Kroos or Thiago? He said Thiago.
It's a
Well,
Liverpool
Thiago's
fan.
Brazilian. Thiago's Brazilian, first of all. Of course, he's going to pick that guy over the German that has absolutely been a thorn in the Brazilian National League side forever. So he's never going to pick a German. So I get that one. But the other one, I don't know. No comment.
What do you think, Eddie?
He's a legend.
All these legends always flip flop who they pick, so I don't make anything of it. Maybe one of the headlines.
And then last two things, real quick. Zlatan Ibrahimovic had this to say about Argentina's World Cup celebration. What will happen is that Mbappe will still win a World Cup. I am not worried about Mbappe. I'm worried about the other players for Argentina because Messi will be remembered, but the others who behave badly, we can't respect that. Thoughts?
I don't care. I won the World Cup. I'm act however I want. I have no problem with some of the antics that Emi Martinez was doing. I don't really care for it.
I
It's
had a
all
problem
banter
with
at the end of the day.
Sergio Aguero talking about Camavinga being like, "Oh, like F you Camavinga" and all that. Like to me, that was him being a punk. You weren't even a part of it.
You know what they say, stay classy. I get it. Win the World Cup once in a lifetime, but when it's handed to you, you don't really win it.
Show some grace.
I think that's what Zlatan here is more referring to, that they, didn't really deserve to win the World Cup.
And then they dress Messi up like a damn wizard. Like what the hell?
Look, maybe there's a little more to what Zlatan is saying.
There is,
right?
There is a lot more to what he's saying.
Maybe Zlatan saying is like, hey, let's not act like you won this World Cup based off of like an amazing performance at the World Cup. Like you lost your first game to Saudi Arabia. Like show some class.
But I think there's a lot
that you were lucky enough to get to the final.
I think there's a lot of people that believe that what we think, that Argentina might have not they might have won it with a little bit of help, and I feel like that's what Zlatan's saying.
A little bit.
Well, I'm just saying. I think that's what Zlatan is saying. I think that's what Zlatan is saying. Like, hey, like remember, you guys
some help, and they got.
Oh yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that's what against Mexico, they needed all the help that they could get too. So,
insider job.
Real quick, last one. There is a rumor going around that the reason why Cristiano Ronaldo fired Jorge Mendes, his longtime agent, was because he wanted to go to Bayern Munich or Chelsea, and his agent was unable to get Ronaldo to Bayern or Chelsea, so he wanted to continue playing in Europe, but he had to settle for going to Al Nazir. So, thoughts on this? Anything?
I think that the number one thing there was what they were wanting as far as player wages goes. I think that was the number one problem through and through. There was a big thing about him wanting $500,000 a week or something like that. How true that was, who knows? How true this is, who knows? I think it's just, of course, Chris is going to be annoyed that he's not playing in Champions League and he's finally missing out. And his counterpart that they always try to mash him up against isn't where he is at that level, and that could be why. But there's just a lot of connecting a lot of dots here that don't really exist. I feel like
I think the real reason he fired him was because he was unable to get him out of his United situation as quickly as he wanted to. I think Cristiano had already made up his mind that he was not trying to come back and play the season and play that second season with United. I think he wanted to move on and go elsewhere. And for whatever reason, Jorge Mendes wasn't able to capitalize, not capitalize, but wasn't able to make any concrete moves in that regard. And then the only way Cristiano felt that he could get out of this contract was to have that interview with Piers Morgan and do all these things. So, which kind of like in a sense blacklisted himself And I don't know if the situation for Cristiano was that bad or he was just, no longer wanting to be at United that badly. But I think that's really where it stems from, is that he wasn't able to secure him a moves elsewhere. And, Cristiano had to take matters into his own hands to get out of the United contract. And here we are.
Do you think this could be a Zlatan move for him? Like Zlatan went down to LA Galaxy, played, and then came back and was welcomed back into European soccer, or no?
Look, I'm gonna tell you something right now.
Zlatan went to Galaxy and did him a favor.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something right now.
Oh man.
Don't expect Cristiano to be there all 2 years of his Al Nassr contract. I'm telling you that right now. I'm telling you, next season he will be playing in Europe and he will be playing for a Champions League team. You heard it here first. I'm telling you right now, that's not going to be a thing that he's staying there for 2 full seasons. No way.
I agree. All right, well, we're gonna. JC, you got anything to add before, to that?
I mean, there's just a lot. They're always gonna talk about Chris in there.
Yeah, no,
breaking news. The guy gets likes. Just leave him alone. Come on.
I agree. Well, on that note, we appreciate you guys so much for checking out another episode. This is episode 11 of Compas FC. We appreciate you guys so much. We will be back next week. Talk all things FA Cup, how the standings are doing. We appreciate you guys for checking it out. And don't forget to check out the other shows. Compas on the Beat, we officially announced we will be heading to Radio Row this year. We have already started setting up really cool interviews. Thank you guys.
Shout out Coach JB.
Yeah, exactly. We have been setting up some cool interviews, so be on the lookout for that. Don't forget to check out this week's episode. Who do we think is going to the Super Bowl? We have all that ready for you guys. And then, will the Chargers be making any cuts? Could they be bringing in Jalen Ramsey from the Rams? Could they be bringing in some other players? Go check out that. Don't forget to check out What's Up, both
Trade
Eckler and I break down Brandon Staley and Tom Telesco's press conference. And obviously, don't forget to check out everything else on the Compas on the Beat Network. We appreciate you guys so much. Be a compa, tell a compa. We appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. If you guys want to ask the boys anything, make sure to ask.
We appreciate you guys.
Bro. Yeah, exactly. Let us know.
Let JC know how outrageous is Rashford.
Fake Rashford lovers.
Let him know.
They'll let him know. They'll let him know on TikTok. Don't forget to check out the Compas FC TikTok at Compas FC 11. Dan and Dago's doing a great job with that TikTok. Definitely getting some responses. So we appreciate you guys so much. Have a great weekend. And don't forget, there's a lot on the Compas on the Beat Network. So don't forget to check out everything else. We appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend.